So my name is Mark Demchukov and I'm now 19 years old. Well, whatever's IT stuff, be it like hardware, software, 3D modeling, mostly in games too. I'm Ukrainian, moved in 8 months ago. Well, 9 already. Well, Ukraine, despite everyone's popular beliefs, is a third world country, really. Everything's, well, what's government oriented there is kinda corrupt. So are schools. To proceed into universities or colleges, you gotta do a state exam that's pretty much overly exaggerated in sense of teachers purposefully probably scaring us out so that we just don't complete that thing ever. Since my childhood, I kinda liked United States in every possible way, and what I can say is just neat. I'm finally in the country I like. Yes, we left our entire house and everything inside of it, just grabbing the bare necessities and our gadgets. I, for example, lost my pretty non-cheap monitor. We only grabbed our car and traveled like 7,000 miles towards Sweden. Well, at least that was the road. I don't remember that much about the mileage itself, but it was a long travel. Took us almost 10 days, and we've got there. And we originally intended to stay in Sweden, but unfortunately, the government there is even slower than anywhere else, and their support programs just don't work really. They do, but not that good. And we've arrived there, waited for 6 months to get at least a place to live at, because we were living in our friend's garage and sleeping on floor. Obviously, we didn't get anything and we had to move out. And at that time, a program called United for Ukraine opened, and our father proposed that we go to the United States. We did understand that we will lose pretty much everything that was left. We've kinda had some of our stuff. We were able to transfer from our house, but moving to United States meant we lose both our car and essentially everything else too. Yeah, it was essentially a dream come true for the whole family. It is still rough for us here because, for example, my mother likes Ukraine a lot. She rose there, it's her country, and it's a country of ours that is under attack by people just that have no reason to be there. And we end up kind of having that moment of nostalgia and pain for our own country, but meanwhile we don't want to go back because there is nothing to go back to. We don't have anything there anymore. Our hometown, it was very close to the Gostomel airport that was initially under heavy attack by Russians. And even worse, there is a radio base near our house. So yeah, Russians kinda kept shelling that place, never to hit it. And we got to see a lot of times when their jet fighters were literally just throwing bombs at civilian houses randomly at night. And despite the anti-air covering our territory, well, a single anti-air gun can't really do anything to a whole dozen of jet fighters. So there's kind of nothing to go back to in Ukraine, and United States is essentially our second home now. It is, thanks Lord, getting much better, but there are still some challenges. For example, for me, my own challenges that I'm aware of, because, well, I'm still a kid. I don't really touch that much things with my parents, despite trying to help them in every possible way. So my problem is that I can't really go to college. We have a big lack of money, and I have hard time finding the thing I need, because I'm a 3D artist. I chose a way of going to IT and not programming, but game development, and mainly the 3D effects and models, textures, and so on. And the thing is, there are colleges that provide these programs, but unfortunately the cost of these programs is so high that if we pay that, well, we're gonna end up homeless. And I will only get an associate's degree. It's not like I can go anywhere. And even worse, we don't understand what's gonna be happening in a year or two, because the U4U program right now only gives us documents for 2 years. So they give us ability to gain social security, gain access to CalFresh, Medi-Cal, and essentially be refugees on the soil of United States, but for a for 2 years, for a period of time. Not that big period of time, really.
And then after the 2-year...
there is no idea what's gonna happen. Not even the USCIS knows what's gonna be. Right now they're working on a special program, possibly, as far as I know. It takes time. It's a government agency, it takes a lot of time. Yeah, it's not even their fault, it actually takes a lot of time. Those legal processes, everything, and that time it takes, it actually can kill people like me. So I told you I'm a 3D artist, right? Despite being a little bit slow guy, in my 18 years of age, I'm a full-blown artist, capable of making any kind of a game asset. I mainly like things like vehicles. I model vehicles, you can see it in my portfolio. I made a couple of guns, because I'm a boy. I made my favorite starship, X-Wing. Yes, that's another of my accomplishments that I'm very proud of. I actually speak 5 languages. I speak German, I speak Czech, I speak English from like 6 years old. I speak Russian and Ukrainian respectively. And I even tried Swedish back when I was in Sweden, but not really.
Okay.
Yeah, I had enough of the German. To Ukrainians like me, a good advice would be trust Lord and stop being scared. We Ukrainians have that problem of being scared. Because for 700 years we were oppressed by Russians, by Polish, not mainly Polish, but Russians. The people that we thought we can trust, because we are literally from the same Slavic group. And we Slavs love trusting each other, but it ended up in the massacres of Soviet Union and other things. So yeah, we kind of had a rough 700 years. And these last 8 years that the war is there, we kind of fell over. I just want to say that we Ukrainians should not give up and should stop being afraid. We should start going and doing. So, like I already told you, I want to become a 3D artist. I already applied for, ever since I arrived here, I applied for many jobs in that sphere. And of course, because of the war, I wasn't able to gain myself a proper degree. So you get the result of what's happening with my appliance. They just reject me straight out, or they politely never tell me that they rejected me.
What jobs have you applied for?
3D artist, VFX artist, whatever is that. Whatever is tech, whatever is programming, whatever is modeling, and so on. And mainly in game industry, because yes, I want to create a game.